Why is it when the seasons change, people tend to get sick? Let's ask a Daoist priest from Wudong Mountain.
Welcome back to Daoist Gate Talks. My name is Johanson, and we're here as always with Master Zhou Xuan-Yun. And our resident acupuncturist, Henry Lee.
Oh,
So it's October. It's that time of year when the seasons are changing and people are getting sick. Why is that? Why do people always seem to get sick when the seasons change?
Henry help me translate. So 这个问题呢，就是说，因为我们现在特别是我们一个春天到这个冬天到一个春天，要么再都是这个秋天，就是到这个冬天，这个中间人是最容易生病的。为什么这个中间是最容易生病呢？因为我们第一个是我们这个季节它的变换，一个是太冷，一个是到那个太热，有的一个太热到一个太冷，所以我们人呢，他就是说没有保护好自己，就是说没有这个衣服啊，它的冷暖没有掌握好。
So what happens is that it's actually a matter of that drastic temperature changes. So, we're looking at shifts between summer going into fall time or winter going into springtime, so on and so forth. Right in those in-between spans, you have really, really hot weather, and then suddenly, especially as we're seeing locally around here, I think, especially in these past 2 days, folks are saying, wow, it just plummeted. So because of that drastic temperature changes, you'll see folks who are, they've got into this routine of wearing lighter clothing. We just came out of summer. Now suddenly we went from having 80 degrees every day. It's 40 today?
Right, and you get caught at work without the right attire for when you go home.
Exactly.
所以在这个情况，你看，我们就打一个比喻，就是一个玻璃杯子，就是很热的一个杯，你倒个冷水，它会什么情况？它会炸掉。是不是一个贴也是一样，很硬的贴，它很热的时候放那个冷水，有的时候也会裂。我们的人身体也一样。所以如果就是说我们太热的时候，你把这个就是温度一降下来，就比较冷了，所以这时候你没有穿好衣服，很容易生病。
So what Siv was giving as an example is let's take non-tempered glass or even really simple metals, for example. If you had a piece of glass that came straight out of a freezer or really drastic, whether it's drastically hot or drastically cold, if you throw in that opposite temperature of that extreme, so let's say I took the glass straight out of the freezer and I put boiling water on it, you're going to see that glass explode. Same with the metal. And so it's very much our bodies are the same sort of creature in that sense. Although we're organic, we're susceptible. It's that sort of same concept that goes in there. So precisely what we're talking about, you don't have that clothing. You're exposing yourself to extreme temperatures. So especially going indoors, outdoors, we're going to be susceptible as a result.
这是一个问题啊。第一个问题就是人的这个身体的体质不一样，就有的人的身体很虚，有的人身体很强壮，所以说就是说有的人呢，他很容易生病，就一下冷一点点或热一点点都会生病。但有的人呢，就是说像这个小孩子，他们阳气比较旺盛的时候，所以说他们都没有问题。所以说对，这是一个人的体质也占一方面。
And then, we got to throw in another variable, which is the fact that everyone's physiques are different. Everyone's state of body is different. You have folks who are a little bit more frail. You have some folks who are built like absolute tanks.
Like me.
Exactly. And then, for instance, you have kids who are just so full of energy, full of, as we'd say it in Chinese medicine, yang qi, just really hyperactive, or, what Western medicine would say, really high metabolism rates. So they don't necessarily get as easily sick as a older, more frail individual.
所以在这个再就是我们再回来了，不管你的这个阳气再旺盛，遭遇到你不注意穿这个衣服的话，还是会生病的。所以说在这个中国，你看我们要是有的时候生个病了、感冒了，我们会说，哎呀，这个人伤风了，就是这个风吹到了；有的时候说，哎呀，这个冷着了，就是说这个冷气就冷到了。
Just now we were talking about kids who have yang qi, but that's not a pass. That's not saying they may be more energetic and have a lot of yang qi, but even they're susceptible. It's like we're talking about. Your body may be on a hotter scale, so that it can withstand more cold. But even then, once again, if we throw you in extreme cold, you're still gonna just exactly like that glass example. It'll still be susceptible. It'll still break.
Yeah, the change is still there.
Exactly.
Where you're starting from.
Exactly. So in that regard, what we have to be mindful of is the clothes we wear. 再提醒我第二个部分的，就是你刚刚说的。
第二个部分。
因为就是不管你是有很多的阳气，还能对不对？
对，他还是能生病。会生病，所以就在中国，就是说这个小孩子有的生病了，他就是说我们说，哎呀，这个人伤风了，就被风给吹到了。就是说有的时候说，哎呀，就是在美国也是got a cold， 有的这个冷气给凉到了。
Okay, so sorry, I forgot that second part. And the other part being is that from the Chinese medicine point of view, and culturally speaking, what's interesting is that because we're looking at the variable temperatures as the sort of pathology, the etiology behind why we get sick in Chinese culture, we might say, oh, quite literally, someone has been struck by the wind. There's that strong breeze, and now they're afflicted by wind, or the cold has gotten into them. And it's the same way that
catch a cold.
Exactly,
catch a
exactly.
Cold.
So even in the Western cultures, we say, oh, you caught a cold. Well, you didn't literally get freezing temperatures in you, but there it is in the language.
Yeah. So what happens if someone does get sick? Is there anything you can do to help strengthen the body when you are sick?
哪一个？
就是如果你已经生病了，有什么办法？是不是我们只能休息吗？或者有什么办法？
如果我们要就是说，如果要是这个生病了，第一个是休息，第二个是饮食。饮食非常非常重要。就是说，对我们来说，这个饮食就是以这种清淡的为主。一般人就是这种生病了啊，那你就是说最好是这个休息，就是说饮食以清淡为主。再都是有的人这个体质不一样。也有个另外一个问题，什么叫体质不一样？就是我们会讲到这个阴虚。
对，所以是需要不同的饮食嘛？
对，身体的不一样，它饮食也不一样。对。
So first and foremost is the sort of universal adage of you got to rest. But then second of all, the thing that you can be proactive about is a certain dietary fulfilling certain dietary needs. So the idea that it's going to change with each person depending on their physique. So just like we were talking about, someone might be more frail. If they were to eat a different sort of thing, that will be more beneficial to them than, say, someone who is incredibly hardy. So, that's the way that we'd go about fixing it.
对，你像这个，如果要是我们正常的这个人的话，就是说，可能就是说，多喝点水啊，注意一下饮食啊，甚至出一身汗，然后去就是轻轻运动一下，出一身汗，它能更好的来帮助恢复。但是如果这个身体体质虚的，你像这个阴虚的人，这种人呢，他那都不行的，都必须需要就是要吃一些这种比较清淡的这东西，就是清理这个肠胃。
就是可能也是需要补气嘛。
补气需要清理肠胃，就先把里面的这个东西给清掉。对。
So something that going back to the idea of people with different physiques, different body types. So in, your average person, what you might be able to do is that have them rest. Eat certain foods and bundle up, maybe take a really hot bath, try to sweat it out, get a really high basal temperature rate so that you can just burn it all out. Now, if it's someone who's a little bit more on the frail side, that's probably not a good idea because their body's not going to handle it. It's just actually going to probably make things even worse. So for someone like that, we would consider them having as, not as much chi in their system. So what would they have to do is, be mindful, take a look at certain foods that help them use food to help get the sickness out of them, and then at the same time eating foods that help to tonify or to help bolster their inherent energy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because you think about, you should be eating the right food and get the right nutrients anyway. But if you think about it, if you put too much sugar in your body, maybe you're going to make your body more susceptible to be sick. What if you're eating too much sugar or a not healthy diet? You're just setting yourself up.
所以，因为我们讲那的饮食，那比如说，如果你吃很多那甜的，那是不是可能以后会比较容易生病了嘛？
这个就是说，在我们这个概念里面啊，这个就是说不太影响，因为就是说你在这个生病、身体很虚弱的时候，有的时候还需要一点点这个糖来给你提神，然后让你这个精神旺一点。但是肯定了，是在这个不像在这个美国，他经常吃这个糖，这个是有点不太好的，对，
有点太夸张了。
太夸张了，对。但是这个身体在虚弱的时候，吃那么一点点糖，对身体反而有好处。
So normally speaking, something like sweets should actually make the body stronger. That's the thing. Folks, they eat sweet things because it gives them energy. But where the disclaimer in that is that as with anything, if you're having a bit too much, then you're gonna see issues such as you get a little bit chubbier and all that. So it's not necessarily a good thing. 那就是如果我们就是特别讲这个生病，关于这个生病，你觉得吃甜的会影响到的吗？
它不会影响到，就是吃一点点，不要吃太多了。就是你的精神就是太弱的时候，就是天天没力的哈，吃那么一点点的糖，能帮助你的身体，还能帮助你的恢复。那样的话，就是让你有力气。
Okay, so in terms of that, it's if you eat a little bit, because part of it is during these times. It's easier to have less energy to kind of ward off the sicknesses. Having a little bit of sugar to actually give you the energy to fight back against sickness is not necessarily a bad idea. So I think what we're getting to is the idea that you'd have to have a fairly significant issue before we even look at whether or not it affects sicknesses.
最好的这种办法呢，就是说我们早上起来，如果我们最好就是不管是生病或者不生病，最好的办法就是早上起来一杯热茶，就是那个热茶，就喝热茶。就是如果有的喜欢喝咖啡的，喝热咖啡。早上起来不要喝冷的东西，这样对身体非常好。
So in terms of how we can start to prevent sicknesses, one good idea is actually right when you wake up, having a nice hot cup of tea or, a hot cup of coffee, trying to avoid cold things. So, even if you're used to having iced coffee or an iced tea in the morning, now that the seasons are changing, you kind of have to match the outside conditions. You got to balance it out. So whether it's getting colder, try to have a hot beverage or at least warm.
在晚上呢，就是在这个中国对我们来说，如果在晚上的话，就是我们没有这个洗澡的这些东西在农村，所以说喜欢泡脚，就热水泡脚。但是在美国，它可以泡一个澡。
Okay.
这个每个晚上，每天晚上做一下，对。
So then another thing you can do is we're talking about the morning. Now, if we talk about evening, something you do just before going to sleep. In China, in the more rural areas, they would actually soak their feet in really hot waters, get the whole body warm. But because we have more of a developed society here, we can actually just take a nice hot bath, and that's just good, if not better.
Yeah, that sounds good anyway.
所以说就是说，在平时那个休息的时候，就是到这个秋天到冬天，我们就讲究夜卧早起。什么意思？就是晚上早点睡，早上早点起来，就随便做一下运动，这是最好的，最好去预防的这种生病的，就是那样能帮助这个身体，就是更这个怎么说，就是这个身体更 strong， 就是你的身体。对。
And so the other thing is that kind of going with the natural flow of even just the daytime. So for example, now's the time where we're not getting as much daylight. So the sun's going down sooner. We're seeing nighttime come at or what we typically associate with nighttime at around 6 o'clock instead of having the sun still up at 8. So that's kind of the signal to us is go to sleep earlier. And then wake up earlier, kind of follow the sun in that regard.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your rest and don't burn the midnight oil. So wake up early so that you have time to get some exercise, get that hot cup of tea in you, hot cup of coffee, and warm up the body before going out to start off your day.
Yeah. Well, so when I knew this was the subject for today, there is a question I personally wanted to ask because I get sick. We all get sick. But I think I tend to get sick when I'm stressed out. Like if I have a really stressful week, I find like then I'm gonna get sick. And why is it then when you're mentally stressed, your body just follows, or Is there a connection there, or just coincidence?
对，因为怎么说，就是说我们这个人这个一紧张的话，你的身体啊，就是我们经常想很多，我们身体一紧张的话，我们身体这种免疫系统啊都会变弱，就是这种抵抗这种病毒啊，或者抵抗这种外寒呐、或者抵抗这个热的这个能力都会弱。
So, as we've discussed in previous episodes, especially when you're stressed out, being stressed out is having to think a lot, dwelling on certain subjects. So, the chi of your body, we've already discussed it before, is getting stuck up in certain places instead of circulating normally. So now, don't forget, your chi is the basis on which you are able to sort of ward off against sickness. So if you're stressed out, your chi is basically occupied with that instead of being able to ward off and commit to its normal duties. So that's where you're getting it. The resources meant to ward off sickness are busy with thinking about, I've got to do this. Did I leave the oven on? That sort of thing.
I know, it just compounds. It's like you're having a tough time anyway, you're stressed out, and then your body's going to be weaker. Let's make them sick on top of being stressed.
Exactly.
So that's actually the time we have for today. So we want to thank you for joining us. We're going to address a different topic every week. And if you do have a question you want us to address, drop a comment below, and we'll see if we can get to it. 再见.
再见.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have a question for Master Zhou, ask it in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, click on subscribe. If you're here local in the greater Boston area and you want more information on classes, check out DaoistGate.com.